Instagram. All right, perfect. Oh, we're gonna touch. Testing. All right, welcome everybody. This is a Green Relief show. I am your host. I'm Sean, and this is Kerry, the man, the myth, the legend. So what we want to go over today is essentially we are going to start, again, educating you guys on how to use these products, how to, basically give yourself an idea of what's best for you and your medical marijuana and how you can fix or at least help some of your any kind of ailments or things that you're suffering from. Today we're going to go over Harvest, one of their vape pens. Harvest is a local dispensary here in Orlando, or actually Kissimmee.
Kissimmee.
Yep.
They're the first in Kissimmee.
They're the first ones in Kissimmee. Yeah. And they're would you consider them like a franchise?
Almost? Yeah, actually,
or a chain?
Well, out here they're going to be a chain. In Arizona, they're a franchise, but they're a chain also. They're Arizona-based dispensary. Mm-hmm. They came out here. They're the first in Kissimmee, like we just said. We were the first in Kissimmee also, for the marijuana side. Yeah. Getting a recommendation, and they're the first dispensary out here. And they actually have 3 locations in Kissimmee.
Yeah. So the first one wasn't too far from here. No. And then they just expanded into those other 2 locations, correct? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's what we've got today. We've got the vape pens from Harvest. Now, these are a little bit different than what we had a couple of weeks ago when we did the Curaleaf pen. That was a disposable pen. All right, this one is reusable. You got to charge it. You got to replenish the cartridges. And again, there is no CBD in this. This is
in these particular ones. There are pens that does have CBD in it. We're going to go over just 2 particular strains, 2 particular vials that they had there at Harvest, mm-hmm. and we're going to show patients how to use it, how to use the adjustable flow. That's something that's very new, the adjustable flow.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I think it is. It's really efficient. It allows patients to
see on Facebook. Somebody just said the only one Osceola County let in. Yeah. Yep. Now, tell us, how did you get into contact with, you guys were the first here in Kissimmee.
Yes, sir.
And Kerry, and if you're listening on our podcast, I feel like Kerry's network is literally everybody south of Sanford. So if you don't know Kerry, then you obviously don't live in Orlando. How did you get in contact with them? You guys are the first here in Kissimmee, so it was kind of like, hey, let's do this together, right?
Well, they came out. I think they picked the locations out already. They've been planning to come out here for Mr. Charles Rogers said it about a year or 2 now. Mm-hmm. And Kissimmee did have rules and regulations. I wouldn't really say it's the first one that Osceola County let in, because there's other dispensaries that has applied for the license in Osceola County mm-hmm. to be approved for dispensaries, and other locations and property owners has approved them to be there. So this building's up for sale. This building's up for lease. You just got to be a certain amount of feet away from the school, certain amount of feet away from any churches around. Yeah. It's the rules kind of remind me of like trying to put together, I don't know as you could say it, something like, for example, in the medical field, we work in AB clinics. And AB clinics are women's center clinics, and there's certain restrictions and guidelines that we have to go by. We got to be a certain amount of feet away from A, B, and C, and they kind of made it like that.
Okay, so it's basically just zoning purposes and making sure everything's cohesive. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. You gotta make sure that you're not, I guess, selling pot next to a school. But even then, it's I would assume it's just like an ABC liquor or something like that. Yeah. So, all right. So with these guys now, let's pull these out. I'm gonna give you one of these. What particular strains are these? Let me actually see.
The one you gave me. Let's see. And we can show you guys how it looks like. It's just verify.
Oh, I've got strawberry lemonade.
Okay, this is sweet melon.
So when you open these things, they're essentially they're just in a container like this. You slide it out, and just like the Curaleaf pens, they come in this little tube.
But it's different, and let's explain to them why it's different. Because difference from Curaleaf dispensaries and a lot of other dispensaries is, for example, the first thing here is EvoLab. EvoLab is pretty big. They're a huge company out here. And EvoLab is not the only company that Harvest works with. So A lot of other dispensaries, we showed them before, has a smaller chopper glass. EvoLab itself isn't a directly harvested company. I want everybody to understand that. That's very much like Mary's Medicinals. And when we get to edibles, we'll teach them about that. You can see EvoLab at Cureleaf. You can see him at Cetera. You'll be able to see him at Harvest. You'll be able to see this particular company in a lot of different places. Why EvoLab is very, very important, very special about it, it's stainless steel, the Pyrex glass, and the greatest thing about this is the adjustable flows like we were talking about. So if you want to go back and show them how they were coming out, but with these EvoLabs also, they only come in 250 milligrams, where there's another company out there that has the same exact tops that's very similar to this. I want to say that is Cetera that has the Florida's Finest strain. And Florida's Finest strain, I believe, is a little more expensive than this. Well, this right here is $29, $30. This is a lot cheaper. And there's 386 milligrams.
How long would that last you?
Oh, it all depends on your hitching duration. And we're going to see it today. And we're going to see how it bubbles up. And we're going to see anybody out here, we're going to take this off. You can see how thick this is. This is not cut with olive oil. This is a coconut oil strain. And the bottom of it, you can see on the bottom how dark it is. The oil's there.
Oh, yeah. See if you can get that on there.
Yeah, we're going to take some pictures and we can post that up later.
Yeah, we'll have to because it's a little small
Yeah.
and it's kind of hard to see on the cameras. So these, so essentially Harvest is just like the store, and then you have different products within that store.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, perfect. So let's actually go ahead and open up. This is the vape battery, correct?
Yeah, they have a couple different batteries out there. Now, don't really think that once you go to the dispensary, you have to use their battery. It's not true. All these are adjustable. 3 clicks on, 3 clicks on. Well, 5 clicks on, 5 clicks off. It was open up. There's right here if you want.
What does that mean?
5. I'll show you right now. So the actual button that you click on right there, it's 5 clicks to turn it on, and it's 5 clicks to change the adjustable flow, your temperature.
Okay.
So this is the EvoLab product also. You match it up. EvoLab. So I'm clicking on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll blink for me.
Go ahead and turn it around so you can see the blink.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep.
Now it's shutting off. 3 times me to shut off. I'll turn it back on one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It'll turn 3 colors: red, green, and white. So the red is the highest strength. So I go 1. See how it turns red on me? I don't want it to be on the highest strength. That's going to burn up all my oil. See how it's red? We don't want that.
Yeah.
You can change the setting. 1, 2, 3. It blinks to green. What does green typically mean? Go. Green light, good to go.
Let's hit it, kind of thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Yours on?
So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now you just took yours off. You see something here?
See, this is why we're doing this.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You gotta do it faster.
So okay, that's a good point.
Yep.
So you can't just be in your chair and just say 1, 2. You gotta like click through it.
Yep, and you gotta hear it.
All right. So what's next? So I turned it on. What do we do?
Are you sure it's on? Press the button and see. Nope.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Did it blink 3 times for you?
Let's try it again. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
See it blinked?
It blinked
once. Okay, that's one time. Let's see how much that blinks on this one.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh well, that battery's one time blink, but this one was 3.
Okay.
So good to know. Every battery is different that they sell there.
Yep.
So the EvoLab one was 3 blinks. This one right here that comes in the normal brand, where you charge from the bottom, the normal brand is a 1 blink.
Perfect.
Big difference. So let's plug it in.
And these are screws, so you just screw it in.
Yeah. And you don't want to over tighten it. You don't want to ring it up too hard. You can't go anymore.
Just snug.
Yeah. Good to go. Now your flow here, the more air that goes into your adjustable flow, technically is supposed to be the more vaporization that goes into your system. So we can start off at, let's say, about half. Get lubricated.
Gotta lubricate, guys.
Yeah. Very important. You don't want to cough. You want to enjoy the THC that's going into your system, the medication. And now I'm blinking green. What color is yours? Blue, I believe, right?
Yep. So explain to me. Okay, so I've got this guy. How do I open it up for a little bit more airflow?
So what you want to do is first hold the bottom batteries with one hand and hold the top batteries. I advise using 2 fingers. It's a 4-finger method.
Yep.
So your bottom 2 fingers are going to stay still. It's holding the battery.
Yep. Your
top 2 fingers are going to turn it to this way. Right to open, left to close. And you'll see a little silver knob. It's very hard for you guys to see here, but we'll take photos and we'll add it on to us later so you guys can be able to see.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay.
Okay, how's my dad doing? Well, my dad's doing pretty good, Mr. Rogers. Thanks for asking. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So this is on here now. I advise patients to always start off when it's closed completely. Adjustable flow is a very, very great feature to have on, but we don't need it.
Yeah, I'm just playing with mine because I can see the difference. And again, we're gonna have to take pictures of this because it is so small. But on mine, I can tell it's open because there's a little slot in here. You got to think of it like a carburetor, like old school carburetors. Like it's just an air and fuel mixture. So the more that this is open, the more rich it's going to be. So the more flow you're going to get, the more oil you're going to burn. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So so right now mine is fully open, or just about fully open.
And I'll be closed.
I'm going to go just a little bit less than halfway. Okay. Now. So these are on. I'm going to make sure mine's on again. So 1, 2.
No, you don't need to do that. You see, you change the color.
Okay.
So 2 clicks on that change the heating up. 2 clicks, you're heating that whole thing up right now.
Okay.
1, 2.
Now I'm red.
1, 2. Oh, it heats it up. There we go. 2 clicks on this heats up your whole entire pen. You heard that crackling sound it was making?
Yep.
Your whole pen was heating up just now. So it's kind of like a dab ratio.
Gotcha.
So you don't see every pen's different.
Yeah.
It's very, very good to know.
That's why we're doing this, because his is going to hit different than mine, and just to turn it on and adjust it is and that's when you go into harvest, they're going to explain everything, because they're going to say, hey,
that helps all these.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's what they're there for. But they're going to explain, hey, with this particular battery, you're going to want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to turn it on, and the clicks and everything like that. Okay.
So this is the standard battery, and the standard battery color is tricolor, where the Evo Lab is green. So your tricolor is probably where you want to be at.
Okay.
And if you feel it's too light for you, you can click 3 hits and make it a little stronger.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
That tastes really, really nice. Did you get any air in yours?
Let's open it up.
Now, remember, when you smoke an adjustable flow, your lips can't go past that.
Mm-hmm. Because then you'll cut off the airflow. Yeah.
Exactly. Were you able to taste yours?
Yeah. No, mine tasted like like strawberries.
Sweet melon's a pretty good flavor. Now we can open it up more if we want. Now, ideally, what we wanted to do is we want to get, if we write down in a book in our journal.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to have our cell phones, whatever the case is, we should be getting our cell phones out, writing down the name of the strain that we're smoking on.
Yep.
And the great thing with this is it tells you exactly the harvest number. It tells you the batch number. It tells you everything it has on here.
Well, the thing too that they also they'll also give you is strain, where it came from. And again, when you go into the dispensary, they're going to go ahead and say, hey, listen, this is the battery that you've got. This is the dosage. This is how much. And they actually, I wrote this down. So this is from Harvest's website. Okay. They said your dose unit. So 1 draw is a standard dose of about 5 milligrams of THC, or cannabinoids. And then your total dose throughout the day is going to be 2 standard hits. There's 2 standard dose draws, which is
Throughout the day?
Well, a standard of 2 times per day, which is
oh man, somebody needs to fire them.
A total of 10 milligrams.
They posted that on their website.
Straight from the website.
You know what's horrible about that?
Tell me, please.
Your onset time. So we just took these inhalations about 1.5 minutes now.
Yep. Starting
to feel a little bit of effects. I like to keep smoking to get to that effect part.
Right.
So I'm on a second hit now. My duration for my vaporization is supposed to last me 1 hour to 2 hours. So they told me to take 2 hits. I'm supposed to now put my pen down
for 12 hours.
Oh, my anxiety is supposed to go away. My PTSD, my rage that I have in me, my anger, whatever I have going on, my back pain.
Well, that's what we said last time. we said, hey, you gotta figure out like, how much you're dosing, and your doctor, when you come in, they're going to give you a recommendation list, a prescription essentially, of how much THC to use, of how many times to use it. So, Harvest is basic. I think what they're doing is basically just giving you a dosage on the safe side.
Oh, that's horrible. That's not dosage then. You shouldn't be giving anything at all then. You should really get the right thing done, because at the end of the day, you're telling me to take 2 inhalations of my pen at 10 milligrams supposedly.
Total for the day.
But a day is 12 hours. Argument's sake.
Let's say 16 hours and you sleep for 8 hours.
Yeah, there you go.
Which, who sleeps 8 hours? You're supposed to, but
it's crazy to me. Yeah. That's a great reason why we installed at Green Relief the second visit. Your first visit, you're going to get pumped with so much information. Now, you went to the dispensary, for example. Now, let's just say, Sean, you went to the dispensary. You bought that particular product. You're going to say, you know what? My doctor told me one thing. The bud tenders told me something else. Prime example here. We've been preaching this for episodes now.
Yep.
That you need to take multiple hits. You need to write down your draws. We never said 1. We never said 2. What we did say was 3-second inhalations.
We gave you a duration of each individual draw, right? So you can manipulate that based on how you're feeling and how long you are feeling no pain or feeling, the effects of the THC.
Smooth, man.
Dude.
Really, really smooth.
And I think that's important, because you're going to have sometimes, and especially it's because everything's so new, you're going to have some conflicting, dosages. But the experts, the ones that you came to, are here at Green Relief.
Yeah.
You have to listen to your doctor. The bud tenders don't know anything about your medical history. They don't know anything about your ailments. Your doctor did everything with you, so you have to listen to your doctor as opposed to some random bud tender.
And this isn't a shot to the bud tenders.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
We're not taking or discrediting them. I feel like in life, to be successful, you got to have knowledge. Knowledge is power.
Yep.
To empower bud tenders on a person's medical records is impossible. So they're left at a disadvantage.
Yep.
So what's the beauty of this, which I'm so happy this is random, we picked these particular products, is that, Sean, you would have came back to our office now. This is sometime between your 3 weeks. Now, hopefully, we would have seen you after day 1 or day 2 when you'd be like, wait a minute. I got home. I'm looking at my dosage from the dispensary, from the state of Florida prints out, because that's what the state of Florida through Harvest put on their website. So when the state of Florida gives you this right here, they give you your own recommendation, and they tell you how much to give out, but your recommended dose is blank. So now you have to go. Now, the state of Florida didn't print it out for them. We as an entity of the Green Relief, we put down their patient's dosage. Harvest didn't print it on here. So now you're going to have to go on their website. You're going to come to us and say, Kerry, I took 2 hits. I don't feel anything. My cannabis isn't working for me.
Then you start running into some.
I'm going back to oxy. I'm going back to morphine.
Yeah, that's not what we want. But then again, it's also important that you not only you listen to Green Relief, and again, it's not a knock on any of the dispensaries or the bud tenders or anything like that, but it's also important to write everything down, because it's very easy to manipulate and to get off of a standard dosage for you, because you'll be able to figure out essentially what's the perfect recipe for you, right? Yeah. And that's the same thing. And then, I come from a fitness background, and I would always tell my people, my clients, I would say, listen, you have to have a diet log of what you're eating. It doesn't matter if it's water or whatever. If it goes into your mouth, you want to write it down. And it's the same thing with this. If you're at, doesn't matter if it's 1 o'clock in the morning or it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you got to write it down, because then you can come back to your doctor and say, hey, this is working, this isn't working. And we can work with you and narrow down the exact prescription that's going to work for you.
Yep.
And if you're not writing it down, then we can't really help you. To say, hey, this THC or, this whole medical marijuana isn't helping me, that's not necessarily the case, because you might not even be dosing right.
Yeah.
You might not even be working your pen right. In that case, we have to work with you. And that's essentially the reason why we're doing this. And if you do, if this is making sense to you at all, and you're saying, man, this is, this is better than my Oxy or my Percocet or whatever you're taking, we want you to click on the link. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, click on the link that we provided. It's www.agreenrelief.com/get-started. And that'll take you to the patient form where you can start filling everything out. If you're on Instagram or you're listening on the podcast, go to that website. You can go onto our any of our social media platforms. It'll be we'll have that link in the About Us section or our bio. Okay, now let me just bring this up really quick. So we went over the doses. Now you can get a 30-day supply, 50-day supply, and 70-day supply. That's also going to depend on how each dose is, how each draw is, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how many different flavors do you think they have?
I know they have 4 right now in stock.
Okay.
I know they got blueberry, they got strawberry, they got sweet melon, and they got another one. But the thing is with them, that's why we always refer patients over to Leaf Fly. Like sweet melon, for example, is their own strain. So when you look on your package of whatever cannabis that you purchase, you go down on there. They'll give you a vendor ID, which is very important, your batch ID, your harvest date should have been on here. It's not on here, but it's okay. But you know what's really, really cool, and we always tell our patients to look for, is the strain, sweet melon.
And then now, I have strawberry lemonade.
As your strain.
Yep, that's my strain.
Now, we would type in sweet melon on Leaf Fly, or we would type in strawberry lemonade on Leaf Fly. We get to see these are hybrids, and we'll get to see what type of hybrids are there. Are they CBD dominant, THC dominant? Are they hybrid dominant strains? Hopefully, that's what they've done. But we're able to break down each individual strain. See, now we know a sweet melon, and that one's on there. We could do our research on it.
Yeah.
Come back tomorrow, see what it says.
Yeah, and and again, like we mentioned earlier that the bud tenders aren't going to necessarily know your medical history. That's not to say that you shouldn't trust what they say as far as some recommendations for strains, right?
Yes, they're definitely going to know their strain.
They're going to know their strains. So if you come to us and you say, hey, listen, maybe what did you have, the sweet melon?
Yep.
Sweet melon is not really my thing. I can kind of feel it working. Then our doctors are going to recommend, hey, we want to go into like a more of an indica-based strain. You go to Harvest, bud tenders are going to say, hey, here's a great list of indicas that we got for you. This would be something that I would try.
Yeah.
And so it's again, you're not just going off of what the bud tenders are saying for your prescription, for your dosage or anything like that, because clearly 10 milligrams is not going to last you if you're in serious pain, right? I mean, I know some people very closely that have debilitating back pain, and 10 milligrams isn't going to cut it. That's not even going to like make a difference on the pain scale, right? So that again, we're not knocking any of the bud tenders. It's just they don't have your medical history, but they can make really good recommendations off of what your doctor says.
Yeah, like bud tenders come in great when it comes to, sweet melon's working for me. I love the way it's going. Now, I went this month in March. I bought 2 vials of sweet melon, 3 vials lasted me. Now I go back down in April. They don't have sweet melon anymore. I'm going to ask that bud tender, what's your new strain, the most comparable to that?
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to do my own research now. I'm still going to go on Leaf Limes, but the bud tenders there, especially at that particular dispensary you bought it from the first time at, is going to be able to tell you, listen, strawberry lemonade is the best one, or Granddaddy Purple is the next best one, or whatever the case may be. Don't think about the names. Think about what type of strains they are.
Yeah, that's big. It's just, Pineapple Express, the AKs, all the Kushes, whatever, it doesn't matter. Name is essentially irrelevant. That's just a fancy way. It's like saying, hey, I drive a Honda Civic, or I drive a
Nissan Altima,
whatever.
Or I drive a Lexus.
It's a car, and it's a sedan, right?
Yep.
You have different types of sedans. You got different types of brands. Doesn't matter what the name is. And you said that they change the strains, every 30 days?
I feel they do. You can always go to the dispensary. You can always ask them, how long is this here for? But most times they change it out. You got your popular ones, like your Pineapple Express is always going to be there.
Okay.
You got whatever that particular dispensary sells, and each county is going to be different. Believe it or not, each dispensary sells different products and different shit. Most like this particular dispensary over here in Harvest, they only got vaporizations, and that's all they're going to sell. When they get more products in, they might turn into a capsule place because capsule might be cheaper. Like I know True Leaf capsules are $119 or $100 some odd dollars for 50 pills, where you go to Kerry Leaf, you can spend $50-$60 on them. Like it's half the price for pills. So True Leaf doesn't sell that much pills anymore. Kerry Leaf sells more pills. Like you'll see how the market goes. Like,
it's funny because it's almost like it's like groceries or like vegetables. You know, depending on the market, depending on where you're at, you know, it's like a farmer's market essentially.
Basically,
you know, you're gonna have different areas and different strains and stuff like that. When you're doing this with the pens, right? Obviously, the more that you use it, the more that your battery's gonna go down. Explain to me, like when you're done, how long would you say that battery is gonna last?
The battery packages on here, they normally say it's about 2 to 3 days. This one particularly here, let's see how many hours. No, it doesn't say on here, but I advise everybody to charge their batteries every night. You can leave it charged in. When you take your caps off, it's going to come with 2 covers, very similar to this. I always advise patients, and never leave your pen down. You should never have your pen laying down like this.
Rookie mistake.
It's all good. You want to know why?
Well, I would assume the oil is going to be displaced differently when you lay it down like that.
It's going to leak out. There's a hole right there. That hole's not covered.
I've got a giant oil spill right here on my desk. No, I'm kidding.
It comes in the cover like this. This is your bottom oil part. Just pop it on, you just screw it. Comes in the top part. Bam. I'm popping back in now.
Now the Cure Leaf pen that we did last week, you don't have to worry about that laying them down and the oil leaking out or anything like that.
I personally still wouldn't do it because it's still the same concept.
Yeah.
It's still the same concept of the top part of where the oil is coming out of, where the air is coming out of, not the oil per se.
Right.
So I still think it's the same thing, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. I would never lay it down. And I always tell patients to keep your, it's really cool. You can go to any smoke shop. You go to your dollar stores. You can buy little cigar holders where it's little holders and you can put your pen sit like this.
Yeah.
Or put it inside of a cup or something. Just make sure it's laying flat up.
Yep.
And the bad thing is, if you were to take this off and leave this like this down without putting those little plastic covers on here, the oil's still gonna leak out. That happens to a lot of patients. Patients are like, ooh, I bought a bunch of different flavors. I love this. I'm smoking this one this week, but these oils last a good little while. And last year, a week, you buy 4 of them. It's sitting down like this. You'll be having oil leaking this way, oil leaking this way. And a month later, you're down to half a bottle.
And you just wasted all of that.
Yeah.
What a shame. What a shame.
Rookie mistakes. We're trying to save you guys.
You're like me.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see. If Charles, you're on. If you're still on Facebook, let us know if you have any more questions. You've been pretty vocal today. We appreciate that. Instagram. If you got any questions, let us know. Again, if you follow us, after listening to our shows, if you subscribe to the podcast, anything where you are getting involved online with a green relief in the show, we will give you one of our shirts, right?
Yep. Just take a picture. Take a picture of it. Come on in. Get a free gear.
That's it.
Very, very simple.
And I said, I think it was last week, I was in a restaurant for lunch, and I had 2 people take a picture of my shirt because they wanted to know what was up with this. So just be prepared for lots of attention. You can be as popular as me in Orlando.
Yeah. I was pretty cool just now. We were talking about strains. If you guys are going to go to Harvest, here's a couple of strains that they do come out here with.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grimdica. Grimdica. Then they have Rubicon. That's another strain. Cheese.
Just cheese. Just
cheese.
Yeah.
Not yellow, white cheese, American cheese as a strain. I would hope that cheese is a hybrid to give you some serious munchies, man. I would hope so.
I mean, if it's named after a food, I would assume you'd get some kind of munchies.
It's like a guessing game with patients. Like patient that guesses the right strain, give them a t-shirt or something. Like $10 off their appointment.
Yeah.
Borderline Extreme. That's got to be a Steven product. That's just a guess off my end.
Yeah. Well, again, it kind of goes back to what we were saying. The names it's kind of irrelevant, and then they become like this this cult, or this, not even this cult, but like, you know, like they just become popular because of the name, like Pineapple Express or AK, you know, like Sour Diesel or any kind of like haze. You know, I've had like a strawberry haze or anything like that. It doesn't tell you anything about the actual strain. You know, it's not like strawberry indica's haze. Like that's not how it is. That's why you got to talk to your bud tenders, because the bud tenders are going to be the ones that are going to tell you, okay, well, your AK is definitely a hybrid. Here's what you're gonna experience with that.
Yeah.
You know, and even, you know, sometimes you can go into some dispensaries and you can tell them, hey man, like I like to do a lot of yoga, you know, and you know, it helps me with my anxiety. What would you recommend, you know, to complement my yoga or my activity? Like, hey, I've got a really stressful job where I'm in front of a computer all day. What do you recommend? Those types of things. That's what you want to ask your bud tenders, and question the dispensaries.
Yeah.
That would be for them. Your doctors are going to tell you a prescription. This is what you need. Go to your bud tenders, and they'll hook you up with that.
Yeah. Okay. Pineapple Express, the famous one. You can find out there at Harvest.
Great strain.
AK-47 Extreme.
It sounds like a patriotic strain to me.
Yeah, it's going to sound really big on 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's going to go big time out there.
Yeah.
But Harvest is nice. 3 locations out there in Kissimmee.
Yep.
Definitely check them out. HarvestFloridaDispensaries.com. Google them. It's very cheap, $29. You can't beat it. Florida's finest with Satera. They kill. They make a lot of money. They're at $60, $50, $30. Same exact vial. Same hits. Hey, Lucky Lynn, how are you? We were just talking about Harvest products a little earlier. $29. A 7-day supply is pretty big for $81. I like to see how big that is, how much milligrams. We should go back out there. Hopefully they come back out and talk to us.
Yeah. Well, like I said, you know, like the dispensaries and everybody like that, it's you know, we've been trying to get a hold of them, and you know, there's a lot of technicalities, a lot of red tape that they have to adhere to, and you know, that's why it's been a little slow as far as trying to get some other dispensaries on here. But you know, we're always working towards that, and we'll get some more people on here.
Yeah. There's a shortage of sativa, Miss Lynn. Sativa where? What dispensary are you going to? I know definitely for sure that Cureleaf has a bunch. I know Satera is fully loaded. Harvest again is definitely bringing in products. I'm going to try to speak to the guys out there again later to see when they're getting their products in. It's more of an exact date. They can start offering more stuff. They've offered to come out to us and speak to our physician without going through the red tape, so we can get that rolling at least. So at least they come talk to our physicians and our staff members. We can take that information and come back out here and educate you guys with that. That could be something pretty cool. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, I think just in general, getting more people to talk about this, about what they do, is going to give everybody a better perspective on everything.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's why we're doing this. So again, if you haven't done so already, you want a t-shirt, follow us, subscribe to the podcast, and you can always go to agreenrelief.com/get started, fill out the patient paperwork, and set up your appointment. We got 3 locations here in Orlando. We got one in Kissimmee. We got one in the Mills 50 area off of Virginia Avenue.
We just got another one open in Kissimmee today too.
That's right.
And we just went live today, usmedcare.com. Once again, that's usmedcare.com. You should look us up. Well, usamedcare.com. You should look us up. There's 5 locations out there. Plant City's coming next. Our Kissimmee location, we saw 2 patients out there this morning already. They've over 20 patients out there right now. So the numbers are growing. To become a Green Relief patient, join the team, become part of the family.
Become part of the family. All right. And that's, I think that'll do it for today. I don't see any more questions on Instagram. So, all right, perfect. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time, 11 o'clock. We're going to start making it 11 o'clock.
Apologize for being late today.
Yeah, hey, it happens. Well, yeah. Any last words, Kerry?
No, tomorrow we're back out here. We got to bring another product out tomorrow. Maybe the pods tomorrow. I probably pick those up in the morning. Today we got these from Harvest. Maybe we go stop by Cureleaf and get some pods, open those up, see what it looks like.
Some Cureleaf pods.
Yeah.
That sounds very nature-esque.
I'm not going to go spend $750 at Truly. Those other companies charge to smoke it though. Like I really want to ask them, what are we supposed to use to smoke that with?
Were they able to come out or like say, hey, we can come out and demo for you on the show?
No, they will come out and demo for our staff. They can demo for us. We just can't make it live. We got to record it.
Right. Okay,
and then post it.
That's right.
There's no fun in that shit.
No. I mean, it's like it's cheap. It's a cheap thrill, you know. All right, so we'll be back tomorrow. We're gonna have some more products for you guys, and if, like I said, if you guys want to reach out to us, you have any questions, please DM us, message us, call us, email us. We are here for you. That's why we're doing this show. All right, guys. All right, we'll be back tomorrow at 11, and we'll see you then.
See you guys.